So, because of copyright reasons, blah blah blah, I'm not going to be able to show you the actual trailer, but I will give you my 2 cents on it as I just saw it a mere, 30 seconds ago. So the trailer came out an hour ago, by the way. I was an hour late when it came to reacting to it. Nonetheless, I'll give you my thoughts on it. Hopefully, you'll find it riveting. If not, so be it. So the first thing that's kind of interesting is how, like, it appears to me that the game begins with Lucia in some kind of detention center or prison or penitentiary, whatever you want to call it. To me, that seems like the beginning of the game, considering the fact that this is the first thing you see in the trailer, and then immediately afterwards, you see all the crazy stuff they get up to. I will say that, like, the first thing that I noticed was that the audio mixing was a bit off. It did sound dubbed.
Do you know why you're here? Bad luck, I guess.
You know how, like, when they recorded GTA 5, they had full-on mocap suits, and they of course, you know, they did some lines after the fact to kind of fix any audio issues they had, or if there was, like, any take that was a bit off, they would have actors re-record stuff in studio or in a booth. But it sounded to me like this entire part was that, which I don't mind. They've done that before with other games, and it came out fantastic in the past. So I don't have any grievance or take any exception to that, but that's something that stood out to me immediately. I was like, whoa, okay, the audio mixing is a bit off, but I'll hold off. I'm going to see what happens. I've seen so many trailers, fake trailers for GTA 6, that as soon as I saw this part, I was just kind of taken back by the fact that it's actually real. Because, like, we've seen so many people do trailers in this style, and it just so happened that some of them were kind of spot on. Of course, it's not the real thing when they do it. When Rockstar does it, it's the real thing. This part right here, there's not a whole lot going on. I just noticed there's a cute little dog there. It's so tiny that I didn't see it the first time. It seems to me like there are more peds in the game, and by the way, by peds I mean like NPC humans basically in GTA. I know, like, oftentimes when I reference peds in GTA or bully, people they think of something totally unrelated. But yeah, there seem to be more background characters and NPCs in the shot, which, you know, that could be totally staged for the sake of this trailer, but if it's something that's just, like, naturally occurring in the game, and this is something that they decided to show just to kind of, you know, brag about that, I find that very interesting. I think it's cool because not only visually does it look better than GTA 5, but it seems to have been improved performance-wise. There's a higher threshold for how much stuff you can put in one frame. I mean, like, if you just look at the amount of background scenery in the shot and the effects and the amount of NPCs there. You know, I started playing GTA around GTA San Andreas. That was like the first GTA that I bought. And following that, I've just kind of seen the series evolve over time, and it's gotten to this point, and I am astounded by it. It's kind of amazing, and I congratulate Rockstar on the progress. So I'm not going to be able to show this part, but there are quite a few instances of scantily clad women with big derrieres, shaking said derrieres. So that's kind of cool. You know, I don't mind that. It did feel a little bit like filler. Like, you could show us a bit more interesting stuff that goes on. I mean, of course, this is trailer 1. I mean, if you look at the title of the video, it just says trailer 1. So obviously that's implying that we're going to get more trailers, which is cool. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to, like, the first thing you show us and the first little taste you give of the game, I'd really much prefer. I'm not going to complain about, you know, big asses being shaken by beautiful women. I mean, that's cool. I mean, granted, they are video game characters, so, like, it doesn't do a whole lot for me personally, but nonetheless, as much as I appreciate that, I'd rather have you show me something about the storyline itself or the characters. Vice. It's a beautiful shot. I mean, like, if you just look at the way this is edited and framed and everything, I mean, like, it's chock full of these little cool shots that make the whole trailer pop. And I think when it comes to, like, trailers, Rockstar they've always been really good at it, but they've improved a lot over the years. so this is obviously inspired by some viral clips that we've seen of alligators and deer and various other animals strolling into convenience stores and the like. You know, that does happen from time to time, and I think it's just kind of interesting to see GTA include that. I feel like this is something that would be mentioned on the radio. It'd be like, oh, and I don't know if that's an alligator or a crocodile, okay? You don't either. All right, don't tell me like, oh, I can tell the difference. No, you can't. It feels like this is something you would hear on like Weasel News on the radio. You know, like an alligator strolled into a cafe and took a couple of kids, and that was it. Nobody did anything because, you know, what am I supposed to do? It's a fucking alligator. So obviously at this point they're parodying TikTok, I believe, or just social media platforms in general. Do you see the little Planet Leonida man follow? You usually gotta hit the strip club to see jiggle like that for real. And it's a, can't tell if that's a man or woman, but it's a person of unidentified gender being chased by the police, and they are indeed very jiggly. Dare I say, even blubbergumptious. I don't know how I feel about the whole social media thing, because if you look at the trailer, there are multiple instances of basically what looks like cutscene footage from the perspective of somebody holding a phone and uploading something to social media, me like, oh, this is crazy, check this out, or like you see like a viral video being posted, and you know you get to see some fat person being chased down by cops. I don't know how I feel about the inclusion of that, because to be frank, I am kind of sick of seeing social media in fiction. I know that it's part of everyday existence at this point, and I shouldn't complain because I'm uploading this to social media, so you know it benefits me when a lot of people are on said platforms. But I don't know, it feels like oversaturated. I don't feel like it needs to be as prominently featured. America Man. Or actually, I feel like an apt title for this video game would be Grand Theft Auto Florida Man Stories.
Well, look who's back.
As soon as I saw this, my immediate thought was just like, that was actually kind of cool. I've got some good snaps going on. As soon as I saw this, I immediately thought, okay, that's a Karen. I don't know if it is. Maybe she's totally justified in wielding two hammers like that, like a House of the Dead boss. You know, maybe I shouldn't presume this much, but as soon as I see like a middle to like past her middle age kind of like a woman with this kind of thing going on, this look, doing something like holding two hammers and like menacing a camera, or somebody holding a camera and being like, you know, neighborhood watch, I'm just kind of like, okay, that's a Karen. So I don't know if GTA 6 is going to make fun of Karens necessarily, but it's at least possible that one is made fun of at one point. And on a final note, I did notice that the character designs for Jason and Lucia have changed significantly. But in terms of character designs, I actually kind of prefer this over what we saw in the leaks. So I'm not really upset about it. And I should also mention that at the end of the trailer, we do get not a specific release date, as in like day, month, year, but instead we get year. So coming 2025. So we have quite a bit of time to wait and kill before eventually we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of it all. We're actually going to be able to play this thing. So it's going to take a while, and I don't really have a problem with Rockstar Games taking their time, especially with a title like this. It's just that I'm kind of just hoping that we can eventually go back to the old school era where we got games on a pretty more frequent basis, especially smaller titles like Manhunt and Bully and the like. So subsequently to this game getting released, I'm hoping that they're going to go back to that kind of schedule and churn out more titles of different variety. I'm going to give this trailer a 7.5 out of 10. I am a bit conservative when it comes to handing out these kind of scores, so don't take that as me having a lot of issues with this trailer. I really don't. It just felt like they could have given us a bit more of a taste of things to come, or, well, yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that I'm spot on when it comes to anything, or do you think that I'm totally off base and I'm just wrong? But if you agree with me and you think that I'm right and totally justified in every take that I have, then, you know, let me know as well, because, you know, my ego. I just noticed I have like this fleck on the... What is that? Is that dust? It's gone now. Well, hopefully you enjoyed looking at that throughout this entire thing. Should I shave?